Yoo-hoo! I'll make you famous.
Good morning, Vietnam! Hey, this is not a test. This is rock and roll.
I love jelly beans. Can I please?
No, you can't have any fucking jelly beans!
It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
There'll be no rest for the
Twisted.
What was that?
Just a zombie.
Just a zombie?
Well, hello there, kids, and welcome to another exciting episode of No Rest for the Twisted, with your host, moi, Zombie Torres, and my lovely co-host,
JellyBean.
Now, before we start with today's topic, we have a tradition of telling you how we met, and JellyBean will be the one telling you how we met today.
Why, thank you, sir.
No problem.
Yeah, our it's it's mildly interesting. I was actually working as a news reporter in New York at the time for a really popular magazine. And,
Hustler.
we were doing human interest stories and things like that. And there had been talk around the table of this princess chick getting married and that she was dating somebody. And so, we were trying to figure out who this princess was dating. And, we caught her at a club. And she was just, with, this just, really average person that you wouldn't think a princess would be dating. So everybody was like, how did they meet? What happened? And then we actually started finding out that they were put together by a guy who was helping dudes kind of get their shit together to pick up really hot chicks. And so my editor wanted me to see if I could figure out who this dude was. So I went out and did some undercover stuff. And that's when I found Zombie. It turns out he was kind of holding a master class for these guys to learn how to pick up these really gorgeous women. And so I wanted to do a story on him. And he wasn't on board at first. But then I caught his eye.
And we became besties.
Yeah. And then I got to write a story on him. And he really annoyed the shit out of me for a long time, but he was very persistent. And well,
Well, I was like, dude, we gotta be friends. I mean, have you ever met someone and you're like, we're gonna be good friends? And plus, yeah. My whole scheme was actually stolen from VH1. I don't know if you guys remember the pickup artist or that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yep. I pretty much stole the whole curriculum, if you will, from that guy. The only thing I don't dress all like 90s Jamiroquai. I don't know if you guys remember that show. You do remember the show that I'm talking about, right?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
And 90s Jamiroquai is spot on, but white. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had this show about pickup artists, or this guy that was a pickup artist, and he was giving classes, showing guys to pick up chicks, and that's where I stole it from. Thank you, VH1. But
all right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So with that said, our overarching theme today is going to be, currently kind of what's going on with the government shutdown and, how that is affecting us and what else is happening in the government. And so, Zombie, you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, so, as many of you know, our Cheeto-in-Chief has closed the government for it's been 40 days now? 40-ish days?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I mean, fucking. That's the time. Remember, that's the amount of days that Jesus was walking around in the desert. Anyway, so I saw this story online, and it totally just captured my attention. And basically, it's this lady. I don't know who she is. I don't know her handle or anything, but I'm sure you can figure it out. So basically, this chick started calling churches, asking for a formula for her baby. She didn't have a baby, but she was just conducting a social experiment, as she called it. So she had an audio of a baby crying in the background, and she would call these churches, mega churches, and would ask them, "Hey, would you could you provide some formula for my baby? I'm hungry, I'm starving." And she was rejected by a lot of these these so-called Christian churches. And they were just like, well, if you're not part of a congregation, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And apparently the only people that didn't ask were when she called mosques, and they said their reaction was more of a, well, what kind of formula do you need? Where are you at? How much do you need? And so forth. So her point was proven that, like, churches are bullshit. They shouldn't be fucking tax exempt because they're not doing what they say they would do in times of crisis like this. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now the churches are posting their own videos, saying that, oh, well, we've been having a lot of scammers and they've been asking for money, so we thought she was a scammer, blah, blah, blah. And people have pointed out that never once did she request money or ask for it. She was requesting food for her fucking baby, And again, this is fucking Christianity at its best, or worst, depending on how you see the situation. But I just think it was it's an eye opener. You know what I mean? Like, I feel after this, when the Democrats get back in office, if they ever do, they should fucking take away tax exemption from fucking churches. That's just my 2 cents. But yeah, that's
right.
That's what's going on. So in the fucking world today with this government shutdown, it's fucking churches aren't even helping the fucking poor. So
right.
It just
so much for separation of church and state.
Exactly. So I guess it's more of a, we'll help you if you're
but they'll only help you if you're in a position where you won't even need help. Like, if you're upper middle class to rich white person.
Yeah, it's kind of like when up and coming celebrity is asking for help from, like, hey, could you give me some free shit? And they're like, no, you're not rich or famous enough, but once you're famous and rich, we'll give you all the free shit you. And it's like, well, that's kind of pointless.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, God, there's a fucking skater movie where that happened, where the skater kid was like, well, if you give me a board, and fucking Bam Margera walks in, they give him all this free shit. I forgot the name of the movie, but yeah, it's just a shitty situation. You know what I mean?
Right. And the people that are supposed to be helping the communities are not.
Right. Like, for example, like I learned that the Catholic Church is worth, like, what, $70 billion? Like, they could really wipe out, poverty if they really wanted to.
Well, yeah.
But you can't.
That's a story for another day.
Well, yeah, you can't control the masses like that, but
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the next story.
Yeah, so I actually wanted to talk about the special election that was held last week.
Oh, you mean when the Democrats won all the...
Yeah, like, it was the first time, Democrats really had any good news. And like, I personally don't identify as a Democrat or this or that. Like, I'm really just in the party of like, don't be a dick. Everybody has civil rights, you know. Like,
Same here. I only filled out the Democrat part on my voting thing because you know how it's like harder to vote. Like if you put
right.
independent or whatever the fuck.
Well, yeah, because it's two-party system, regardless
Exactly.
of what they say. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, same.
But yeah,
But
like look, I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or Republican as long as you're not gonna fuck over people. I'm
right,
so
I
there
mean,
with you.
because the government is the government, and regardless of what side of politics you are, like the money will always prevail, and like all of that stuff, you know. But in the current climate that we're in, like the lesser of the two evils, obviously, is the Democratic side,
Right.
and you know, so when we need them to have a win, and you know, the special statewide election that we had on November 4th really was crucial. There were three main Democratic um, votes that were on the table, in addition to California's gerrymandering, you know, Prop 50 to, you know, redistrict California so that we could get more, you know, more seats. And this is really going to, you know, basically what this means is that with Prop 50 passing, there's 5 GOP Congress members now who might, you know, their odds of reelection are very slim now due to, you know, the having bigger, you know, blue areas of California. And so that's a huge win. And so we're going to see how that pans out. Um, but the three elections, you know, that were held that were the most important were in Virginia and New Jersey, where we had, you know, Democrats win for the first time. And, you know, the big one that everybody's talking about is New York, where
Oh,
Zoran
the mayor.
Mamdani,
Yes. I
yeah,
am so
won.
glad that dude won.
And you know, it's funny because like Andrew Cuomo was like, I'm not involved with Trump. I'm not involved with Trump. I'm not involved with Trump. And then like Trump and the other mayor, was it Eric Andrews? Is that his name?
Yeah, Eric
So,
something. Eric piece of
something.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, like they both came out in favor of Andrew Cuomo, and that's when he really got fucked. I think that shot him in the foot more than anything.
Also, remember the you remember the debate video where they were asking, "What's the first thing you're gonna do when you become mayor?" And everybody's like, "We're going to fucking Israel and kiss that fucking wall." And that dude was like, "I'm gonna talk to all the Jews in my 5 boroughs." Because like, why the fuck would a New York mayor, go to fucking
Right.
Israel?
Right.
You know what I mean? But going back to the elections, I feel that what is happening with the fucking country with this piece of shit, I feel people are getting fucking tired. You know, even his MAGA people are fucking, dude. Fucking Marjorie Green is turning on him.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what
That's the
the
thing is
fuck?
like, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I'm sorry, I hate to play devil advocate here. And what I'm about to say, I don't mean it the way it's going to sound. But in a weird way, all the bad shit that has been happening in our communities, like ICE and shit, I feel that we had to go through that shit to see the real evil. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get it, and I get what you mean by
Like I'm not trying
it's
to.
very,
I'm not trying
yeah,
to.
no, but sometimes, you know, sometimes you have to see all the evil all at once because nobody was seeing it in drops.
Right.
They had to wait till they saw it in a whole bucket.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to go too far down that path. But the thing is too is that with all of this happening, like you're saying, with all this bad shit happening and everything, like ever since Trump got reelected, like families, friends, celebrities, like we're seeing people for their true colors.
That's what I was actually going to say.
Disillusioned. And so what I was leaning to here was a prime example is Deborah Messing from the show Will and Grace, which was a very groundbreaking show, and it's a portrayal of the LGBTQ community and everything. And Deborah Messing was a gay idol because of all of this. The whole cast is. And I mean, so her coming out and saying, like, straight up calling Zohran Mamdani a jihadist and having just like this whole social media crash out was kind of took people aback, because like if Kid Rock was like, fuck Zohran Mamdani, like, yeah, okay, duh, like that makes sense, he's an idiot. But like I didn't realize, like, of course, Deborah Messing is a Jewish person, but she is so anti-Muslim and she's Islamophobic is what she really is. And she supported Hillary Clinton, like, and now she's like promoting Donald Trump's stuff. Like, she was super critical of Donald Trump, but before she called him a liar in chief, and then she reshared a True Social post from Donald Trump calling Mamdani a Jew hater. So like that's one of those things where it's like somebody's true colors, somebody who we thought was on the side of good, is actually like a horrible person. She was suggesting that Mamdani is a communist. Like, she said that he's what did she say? The actual quote was, he's an actual communist, jihadist, a literal Karl Marx quoting American hating jihadist. Like, those are inflammatory words. And like, I know it's part of a bigger debate as to whether or not, when they're like, celebrities should shut up and entertain us and not have opinions. But when you have, this platform, this huge platform, you should be using it for good, not evil. And like, this blew the fuck up. And it's just like, it's crazy, like you were saying, how in these times, like, all this negative shit that's happening, and it's really helping people see the forest for the trees.
Exactly. Now, I want to point something out that I just realized this right now. It's always the Trump tards or the right wing that have always been like, shut the fuck up, you're an actor, like, just, stick to your lane, and you don't know about shit about politics. So, and I just realized that all the actors that turned into politicians have all been fucking Republicans, like Ronald Reagan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and even this dumb fuck Trump, have
right,
and it's
right.
like, well, you're always telling the left that to shut the fuck up and stick to show business, when you guys have actual actors who turn to politicians. You know what I mean? Like, make it make sense. Like, I feel it's a kind of ironic,
Who was the wrestler that became governor?
Oh, Jesse Ventura, but he was more
Yeah.
Democratic. He was more like independent, right?
Well, yeah, and the guy who played Cal. No, his name is Cal Penn. The guy from.
Oh yeah, from Harold and Kumar. Yeah.
He worked for Obama.
That's right. He did work.
But like that was on a much more quiet scale. They don't come out and do this kind of craziness.
Right. You're right. You're right. Because you're right. Because Jesse Ventura, I think he was like, didn't he run as an independent actually?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, yeah. But I know I like the guy. And so.
Yeah, I didn't realize Andrew Cuomo ran as an independent. I'm an idiot.
Oh God. That was just.
And their Republican candidate is just a fucking comic strip.
Well, they usually are.
The guy with the beret.
Yeah, like what the, dude. When they were making fun of him on SNL, I was like, wait, for real? And I had to Google like what they were talking about.
I was like, oh, that was pretty accurate. I
was like, or I don't know if you noticed that this week on SNL, was it this week or last week when they made Trump's neck look like a fucking vagina?
Oh yeah, no, they've been doing that more and more. Like
that shit was funny, dude. So.
Yeah. No, that shit's fucking comedy, bro. But yeah, so that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, I mean, people are showing their true colors. One person that you didn't mention was because I know he's been talking a lot of shit. It was fucking 50 Cent, Mister. I'm gonna move out of fucking New York if he becomes 50 Cent.
Oh.
Remember?
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't hear about this?
No, hence the surprise in my voice.
Yeah, it's hold on, let me.
And I believe it's 50.
Okay, that fucker. Okay, the same thing with Snoop Dogg. They've lost all credibility.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so this is from 6 days ago from the Daily Mail. 50 Cent declares New York is over following Mamdani win as he urges locals to flee to southern city. He is helping to rebuild. Yeah, so he's basically telling people that you should fucking move out of New York, and he's moving out of New York, kind of shit. So yeah, he's just another fucking Trump-loving piece of shit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to how has the government fuck up been affecting you personally?
Well, shit. Where do I start? Well, as many of you know, I was born a poor black man, and so I do get EBT or food stamps, if you will. Not a lot, enough to feed my kid and myself. And this month we only got partial of that, and also like this whole airline thing situation, since all these planes are being canceled and shit. My kid is supposed to come out next week for Thanksgiving week, and I feel right now it's still up in the air because I'm more worried about like her getting stuck out here and shit. So there's a possibility, and they're talking. I watch the news every day, and they're talking about how like today, today's Veterans Day, November 11th, and they said that today like 1,200 flights were canceled today alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're saying it's going to get worse as the holidays.
Yeah, something like 6% of flights now.
Yeah, and even if the government stops to shut down tomorrow or the day after, it's still going to take a week or two for things to catch up and become normal again. But then again, they're not talking about the holiday travel part, like
right.
Because I mean, this is fucking LA, dude. People like the schools are actually closed now during the week instead of like having 2 days and then the other 3 days off and shit. So yeah, we're still kind of up in the air. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen and shit. If my kid has to cancel her trip and plan another one next year, or if we're gonna still, continue with our plans. But yeah, it's kind of frustrating, like you're trying to plan shit and not knowing if it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So
Right.
so yeah,
right.
so I mean that it's kind of really fucking my plans up. So what about you?
Yeah, it's the I'm first of all, I'm sorry. Like, I know that not having, the resources for food and things that you've been relying on is really, really shitty. Like, life's already hard enough out here for a pimp. Like, it's just adding one more level, and like the government holding its people hostage while they squabble is just awful. Have you seen that Instagram video, that reel that was going around of the woman in Africa who was like
Oh
telling
my
her
god,
kids
yes. I
that
love that woman. I fucking love
that
it.
they need to eat all their food because there's starving children in
Yes, it's like,
America?
children, eat your food. There's starving children in America.
Right,
And I'm just
right.
like, you can't even fucking be mad at that shit.
Yeah, no, it was so good. I was like, yeah, you're
Um,
fucking right.
I'm
Like,
like, dude, we have become, or sorry, our country has become a fucking joke.
oh yeah, like a laughing stock where other countries just like, yeah, no, it's fucking insane. But my personal tie-in here, as we know and we've mentioned a few times, is that I'm single and mingling, and
What?
yeah, and like
Mothers, lock up your sons.
yeah, that's it. Um,
Especially if they live at home.
and the dating, like, first of all, dating in your 40s is one fucking thing, but like dating in 2025 is wild. And one thing I guess I didn't expect is how politics come into play. And the thing is that I, again, not saying I'm Democrat, whatever, but I have very, very strong opinions about when it comes to civil rights and racism and homophobia and abortion and things like that. Like, I have very, very strong beliefs in that. And so if I'm looking for, like, if it's just someone that I'm just like having fun with or whatever, that's one thing. But like, when I'm trying to date with intent, and because it's fucking exhausting. And once I start having a conversation with someone where I can see their political beliefs are going the opposite of mine, it's usually that's like a hard out, right? So
So would you say that you would still fuck someone that didn't have your beliefs, knowing that, well, he's not a keeper, but I need
no,
some chon chon, so I'm just gonna.
I don't think I would get, if it, I mean, I'm not really a one night stand kind of person, but if it was just going to be like a purely physical relationship, I don't even think I would get into that level of
Oh, but I'm
conversation.
sure you won't be standing. I'm sure you'll be on your back or on your knees at some point.
Ha ha ha. Anyways, so I had a phone conversation with someone the other day, and it was, I don't know, we had been on the phone maybe 5 minutes, and little cholo dude. I mean, I definitely have a type. Mexican blue collar who like big girls. FYI.
So he's a cholo dude.
Yeah. So, anyways, he's 52. And we're talking, and he's funny, and we're laughing, and we're getting along, and he's just like, we're talking about, like, oh, how, what's dating been like for you, and this, that, and the other thing. And he says, I was talking to some girl that I was really getting along with, and then I sent her a thing on Instagram, and she really took it the wrong way and was offended. And I was like, oh, well, that's crazy. Like, what was it? And oh, brother, I was not ready for the shitstorm of crazy that came out of this man's mouth.
Do tell.
So it was really fragmented, but I think he picked up on one thing, one news story, ran with it, and I think he thought it made him sound smart by going on this tirade, but like he didn't know that I am not the one for this conversation. And so he starts telling me, he's like, do you know what Muslims are? And I was like, yeah.
Wait.
And
he actually said this?
Yes.
So was it more like this? Hey, do you know what Muslims are, fool?
Yeah, actually, that's pretty much what it sounded like. Like, no shit.
Go Raiders.
And okay, you're gonna have to let me get through this because I know you're gonna want to make a lot of jokes.
Okay.
So you just got to shut the fuck up for a second.
Okay.
So he starts telling me his views on Muslims, which were way out there. And I'm just like, and I'm not really sure what he's getting to, because like, I was like, well, what did you send her that offended her? And then he starts talking about Muslims, and I was just like, okay. And he was using some racist language and things like that. And he then starts telling me, he's like, do you know anything about Sherry law? And I was like, Sherry law? And I was like, you mean Sharia law? And he's like, yeah, Sharia law. And so he starts telling me how that anyone who is Muslim believes that all white people, like all other people, should die. And he starts talking about this thing that happened in Texas where a group of Muslim people wanted to create basically like I don't want to use the word compound because that has negative connotations to it, but basically like a safe place where it was an all Muslim neighborhood, like,
So a community
in Texas,
a Muslim community.
a Muslim community, yes. And Greg Abbott put the kibosh on that. And as soon as the guy that I was talking to brought up Greg Abbott, like the hair on the back of my neck started to stand up, and I was just like, well, I was like, huh? And I was like, can I ask you a question? And he's like, what? I was like, why are we talking about this right now? And I was like, I thought you were telling me a story about how you offended this girl. And he's like, oh, yeah, because basically he sent her some racist ass shit. And she was like, nah, I'm out. So then he starts going on, and like, and I'm realizing, I go, wait, so you have a problem with Zora Mandami then? And he's like, hell yeah, like they're gonna take our, because he's like, Muslims are okay with marrying 6-year-olds, and they're gonna take our kids and this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, no. No, first of all, no. And second of all, he's like, they just have these really extreme views and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, okay, so let me ask you a question. If you think that that someone like Zora Mamdani or other Muslim people that are in places of power, if you think that their views are so extreme, how is that any different than white Christian nationalism? And he's like, well, they're not hurting your kids. I'm like, yes, the fuck they are. And like, he wasn't ready for a counterattack. He was not ready for somebody who actually has a brain to have a conversation. Like, I think he just like read all this stuff and thought it made him sound really smart to be saying this shit.
Well, not only that, but you do have a history being in that world.
And like, I told him, I was like, the white Christian nationalism is by far the most dangerous thing that's out there right now. Like, they're the reasons that are causing these issues with ICE and this and that. And he's like, well, they're not going to hurt my family. The Muslims want to like kill my family. And I'm like, they're like, the white Christian nationalists aren't killing people. I'm like, yes, the fuck they are. And I was like, and he's like, well, they're not going to hurt my family. I'm like, you don't think that they're not going to come for your brown children? Well, no, they're not going to. I was like, yes, they are. And like, I go, you know what? I go, thank you for your time. Have a good night.
But your application
He goes, really? Seriously? And I'm like, yes, seriously. He's like, should I lose your number? And I said, yes, please. And I hung up. Like, that's when I text you and I was like, I need to tell you what just fucking happened. Like, what the fuck?
Well, to be fair, I was pretty fucking high last night when you called me. So.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I was just like, and that's what I was talking about is like, politics now plays such a huge part of dating, because for somebody like, I guess it's different for people who are just like, I don't care, like I don't follow politics, blah 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 blah, like they probably don't care, although that's just as concerning to me, to be quite honest. But like for somebody like me whose beliefs are very strong, having someone who is just like ignorant or like willfully having, on the wrong side of history here, like I'm sorry, like it doesn't matter if you're hot, if every other, like you're funny, you're smart, you have your shit together, all of that doesn't matter if your politics are so vastly different than mine. Like it's not gonna fucking happen. And so, that is how, like, it's so bad to the point that I had to put on my dating profile, no racists, no homophobes. Like, yeah.
But what if it's a winning combo, like a racist homophobe?
I mean, usually the two are not mutually exclusive, so.
No, I agree. I feel that especially in today's world, it's more of a, oh, you're a Trump supporter? Yeah.
Right.
So I totally get it. I mean,
right. And I have to ask that question. And there have been men that I have spoken to where I'm like, okay, first of all, like, are you a Trump supporter? And they're like, oh, you're one of those. And I'm just like, okay, bye. Wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's as you said, it's hard out here for a pimp, especially if you live in an area that is very white and Trumpish, like Lancaster.
Yeah.
Where I'm at.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, dude. I think the first time I saw a good old boy with the truck and a Trump flag was in fucking Acton.
Yeah.
And then last year, when during the elections, well, I mean, you'll know what I'm fucking talking about, but they were selling Trump merchandise in front of the Walmart in Lancaster. So, and then even in Palmdale on 10th and Rancho Vista, like on all the four corners, you had like fucking Trump supporters like doing their like, honk if you support Trump, bullshit.
Well, I mean, considering the amount of Nazis out there, and the amount of meth that is produced out there, that doesn't surprise me.
Well, that's just messed up that you're like, lumping everything together. I mean, are you saying that people that live in the desert are meth heads? Yes.
I'm saying Nazis are usually meth heads. Yeah.
Right. No, yeah, no.
What surprised me is, last year when I started going on my journey of self-discovery, I went back to the valley, like where I grew up in Selmar, San Fernando, Pacoima, and like it shocked me the amount of Trump flags I saw in an immigrant-based neighborhood.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's crazy to me. Like, anyways, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now. I'm just saying. So the way the government fuck up is affecting me right now is it's affecting my dating life.
Right. No, yeah, I totally fucking get it. And one last thing that I want to bring up is the fact that these videos, because the Trump tards were always talking about how it's always the fucking Mexicans and the fucking blacks and the fucking this, who are, that require EBT and food stamps and shit. But all these red state videos where people are recording, these food banks or whatever, it's a bunch of white people. The majority are white people who look like Trump supporters who are not wearing their Trump hats, which right. I think is just fucking funny because I mean, I've actually I saw like a fucking picture or video of a homeless person wearing a Trump hat outside of the White House. That's where our fucking, like, these motherfuckers would still support this motherfucker even if it makes them homeless. Like, that's the fucking the hill they want to die on, just to be right. It's fucking ridiculous,
That is pretty crazy.
I mean, like he said once, I could shoot someone in the middle of Times Square and fucking I'd be okay,
Right.
And I mean, I'm at the point where I fucking believe that shit, because all the people, again, I don't want to go down that road, but I mean, to the hardcore his supporters, he can do no wrong. I'm sure if he said, yeah, I fucked a 14-year-old, they'd be like, well,
Right. Well,
it was a different
it's
time.
It's not about who he is as a person. It's about what he's doing for the country.
Exactly. Oh, and then this is the last one, I swear. When people compare him to a great businessman, and it's because I've heard that shit since the beginning, and I'm like, well, first of all, our country's not a business, and his businesses have all gone out of business, so. Anyway, it's tiring talking about this dipshit, but this is this is our reality. This is fucking Back to the Future Part 2 come to life. Where Biff became president.
Let's lighten it up a bit. With some kind of funny news stories. Do you want to tell yours?
You go first.
Okay. So I just wanted to go over, there's so many laws that are antiquated, but are still in effect, and so I'm just going to go over a few of these. And so one is women in California cannot drive while wearing a house coat.
Really?
Yes, you cannot wear your robe in California if you're a woman, specifically.
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought that was really weird. I mean, not that I would go out in my robe. But yeah, I thought that was weird. There was one law that's actually here in Long Beach that I didn't know. It's kind of a quirky law, but in the city of Long Beach, you were only allowed to store your car in your garage. So
no dead bodies? Fuck.
Yeah, it says the rationale behind it is that it was for safety or aesthetics or whatever. But like, yeah, you can't store other stuff in your garage in Long Beach. And let me tell you, there are plenty of people who store weird shit in their garages. I have an alley behind my apartment building with garages, and like, you can see all kinds of weird shit in there.
I have a casket from a funeral home in mine.
Well, this is specific in Long Beach.
Well, if I move to Long Beach, then I'm going to be breaking the law.
There's a California penal code that makes it unlawful for any person to wear false whiskers. Yeah.
Even on Halloween?
California Penal Code makes it unlawful for any person to wear false whiskers, whether complete or partial, for the purpose of evading or escaping discovery, recognition, or identification in the commission of any public offense. So, yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a weird one. No person shall supply or furnish to his or her employees for wiping rags any soiled apparel or underclothing. Yeah. And that's kind of an interesting one, because I was in a private Lutheran school in 7th grade, and I attended, I was a dedicated detention attender. And the way we had to do detention was any clothes that had been donated that they couldn't sell, we would have to cut up into rags, and they would sell these rags to like factories for cleaning and stuff.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That was just like a random memory. Yeah, like we had to stand there for 3 hours, cutting out zippers and pockets and making perfect squares out of jeans, t-shirts, sweaters, whatever it was. We had to make perfect squares and make bundles of rags that they sold to factories.
So
which,
I'm sorry.
Now that I'm thinking about that.
Oh, are you sure you weren't at Camp Krusty and they made you make wallets for Hong Kong and shit?
Well, if you got a Saturday detention, you had to scrape gum, clean the bathrooms, regrout tile, fill in cracks in the driveway. Yeah.
I always, not to get off topic here, but I always wondered if you were like, no, I'm not going to do it. You can't make me. You can't physically make me. You just sit there for like 8 hours
right.
Until you go home and shit.
And then they just continue to give you want to hear something fucked up? And I mean, I feel like I'm going to have a JB's mom was really fucked up story every single time. But one time they had to cancel Saturday detention, And my mom was like, no, you're still going to serve Saturday detention at home. So she made me do yard work for 4 hours during the time that I was supposed to be doing detention.
That bitch.
Right? Ew. Anyways, another one is genius level. Sorry, I lost. According to experts, California is the birthplace of the American craft brewing movement and currently has over 1,100 craft breweries opening in the state. There's a genius level law that makes it expressly legal for a licensed beer manufacturer to sell beer from wagons. So, yeah, it's like, why aren't people taking more advantage of this? Like, beer manufacturers could literally be selling beer from wagons.
Oh my god, they could have one called Wagons Yeast. Like the movie Wagons East.
Yeah, I got it.
You get it?
Yeah.
Wagons
Yeah.
Yeast, because you.
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Yeah, that was
That was my joke.
A couple other ones were whistling for a lost canary before 7 a.m. is illegal in Berkeley. Walking an elephant down Market Street in San Francisco is illegal unless the elephant is on a leash. Having more than 2 cats or dogs in the city of San Jose is against the law. And my personal favorite, and if you've ever been in the city of Arcadia, you will understand this, is that peacocks have the right of way.
I feel there's a lot of towns that have peacocks.
Right.
But
I mean, there's an exceptional amount in Arcadia.
Interesting.
Fun fact. What a house that I lived in Lakeview Terrace, the next door neighbor the house was owned by Patrick Swayze, and he had a balls ton of peacocks that would come out. They're very, very loud things.
Aren't the males like the ones that make the noise? Like the male ones are the ones that have
the big plumes. Yeah.
Wait, so you live next to Patrick's? Wait, are you talking about like when you lived on the apartment building that?
No. This was when I was like 14 or so.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It was by the wash, down Foothill, like by like the Saddleback apartments, like where all like the horses and stuff are.
Right. Yeah.
Down there.
Like before you hit the wash that they filmed Chinatown in?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Not far from Hanson Dam, but yeah, there's the house next to us was owned by Patrick Swayze.
I heard that used to be a river back in the day, or a lake back in the day. That's why it looks so.
Yeah.
You know.
And just the last one worth noting, if in San Diego, homeowners can be fined $250 if they don't remove their Christmas lights by February 2nd.
I think that should be the law everywhere.
Right.
Just
but that's why I would never put up Christmas lights, because I never take them down.
Well, I mean, as long as you don't turn them on, I guess that's a good thing, you know?
Yeah. So, and never wash your neighbor's car without permission.
Hey, if I want to wash my neighbor's car, I'm going to do it, all right? And if he asks where I took it, I'm like, look, I just borrowed it for the night, bro. It's all good.
So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
All right, well, I'll end it with some fun facts myself. Did you know that Mars isn't actually round? Yes, apparently unlike any other rocky planet in the solar system, Mars is actually shaped like a rugby ball. So, fun fact.
Because I know what a rugby ball looks like.
You've never seen a rugby ball?
Because I know what a rugby ball looks like.
Man, if there was only a device that would show you the way. Oh, well. Okay, here's my last.
Or you could just tell me what the shape was without being a dick.
Well, you can Google it. It's harder to...
Okay, I'm Googling
rugby ball.
ball. So it's shaped like a football.
Well, kinda. Not necessarily like a football, but yeah.
Yeah, the fuck it is. It just looks like a fucking candy Easter egg.
Well, but it's not an American football. So it's like saying, well, this car looks like that car. But no, just because it has 4 wheels doesn't mean, make it the same kind of car.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It is shaped like an American football.
No, because an American football has pointy ends. A rugby ball doesn't. It's a round.
Oh my fucking god. I said like, not identical.
Look. Mandy.
This is me throwing something at you.
Well, anyway, I guess we'll end it there at that.
So Mars is shaped
like a rugby ball
vis-a-vis an American football. I don't even think I used that right, but whatever.
All right, well, that's our show for today. Again, you can follow us on Instagram at Zombie and JellyBean. All our info is there.
Keep it classy.
There's a link to email us. You can find us on all the platforms. Tell your friends. And I guess, do you want to tell people how to get in contact with you?
You can reach out to you.
Yeah, I guess just DM our Instagram. Again, that's at Zombie and JellyBean. And again, all our links are there in our link tree. So that'll be it for today. I guess keep it classy, San Diego.
Toodaloo, buckaroos.
Well, folks, that's the way it really happened.
And sterilized so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
That's all, folks.
Feet on the wheel. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So
bye-bye.